Hey everyone, it's your captain speaking, Captain Nauman, and welcome to the channel. I'm so excited to finally be doing this, talking to all of you lovely people about what I love most, flying. So buckle up because we're about to take off on an awesome journey through the world of aviation. Now I know there's a lot of mystery surrounding flying, like what really happens when you flush the toilet on an airplane. Spoiler alert, it's not as dramatic as you might think. And is it true that the safest seat is in the back? We'll get to that. Over the next few videos, I'll be your personal guide to the friendly skies, separating fact from fiction, and hopefully easing any fears you might have. Because let's be honest, flying is amazing. It's basically magic, but with more science and less glitter. Welcome to our channel. Okay, let's address the elephant, or rather, the giant metal bird in the room. Have you ever been on a flight and suddenly worried? What if someone tries to open the door? Don't worry, I get it. It's a common fear, and honestly, it makes for a pretty dramatic movie scene. But here's the thing, it's basically impossible to open a plane door mid-flight. And no, it's not just because they're locked, it all comes down to physics, my friends, specifically this thing called air pressure. You see, at cruising altitude, the air pressure inside the cabin is much higher than it is outside. This pressure differential is what keeps us all comfy and breathing like normal. Think of it like a giant invisible hand pressing on the door from the outside. To open that door mid-flight, you'd need the strength of like 1,000 gorillas, and even then I'm not sure you'd succeed, so rest assured those doors are staying put. They're designed to withstand incredible forces and the laws of physics are on our side. But hey, I get it. You might still feel a little nervous about it. So, next time you're on a flight, instead of worrying about the doors, focus on something more fun, like what movie you're going to watch or what snacks they have, or just enjoy the view. Alright, let's talk about turbulence. It's the bumpy road of the sky, the unexpected roller coaster that can send your heart racing and your drink flying. But is it actually as dangerous as it feels? The short answer is, not really. I know, it can be scary. But here's the thing, modern aircraft are designed to handle turbulence like champs. They're built with incredibly strong structures and sophisticated systems that can withstand forces far greater than anything you'd experience on a typical flight. Think of it this way. Turbulence is like waves in the ocean. A big wave might rock a boat, but it's not going to sink it. Similarly, turbulence might shake the plane a bit, but it's not going to bring it down. Pilots are also highly trained to deal with turbulence. We're constantly monitoring weather conditions and making adjustments to our flight path to avoid the bumpiest areas. And if we do encounter turbulence, we know exactly what to do to keep the plane flying smoothly. So next time you hit a rough patch, remember? It might feel a little unsettling, but it's not putting you in any real danger. Just keep your seatbelt fastened, take a deep breath, and maybe close your eyes if it makes you feel better. We've all heard it. The safest seat is in the back of the plane. It's a piece of travel wisdom that's been passed down through generations, whispered in airport lounges and debated on internet forums. But is there any truth to it? Well, it's complicated. There's no definitive answer, no magic seat that guarantees your survival in the unlikely event of an incident. Some studies have suggested that seats in the rear of the plane have a slightly higher survival rate in certain types of crashes. But these studies are often based on limited data and don't account for all the variables involved in a plane crash. The reality is that every accident is unique, and the safest seat depends on a multitude of factors, like the angle of impact, the type of aircraft, and even the distribution of luggage. Instead of fixating on the safest seat, it's more important to focus on the things you can control. Make sure your seatbelt is fastened at all times, listen to the safety briefing, and know where the exits are. Alright, let's move on to some fun facts about flying, and this one might surprise you. Pilots and co-pilots are usually served different meals. No, it's not because one of us gets the fancy first-class treatment. There's actually a very practical reason for this. Imagine this. You're flying a plane full of passengers, and suddenly, you both start feeling a little queasy. Not ideal, right? To minimize the risk of both pilots getting food poisoning from the same source, airlines often have a policy of serving different meals. That way, if one meal happens to be contaminated, only one pilot is affected, and the other can take over. It's all about safety, folks. And hey, it also adds a bit of variety to our in-flight dining experience. Let's talk about airplane air. That invisible stuff we all breathe in while crammed into a metal tube hurtling through the sky. You might think it's a breeding ground for germs, a swirling vortex of recycled coughs and sneezes. And you'd be partially right. Airplane air isn't exactly as pristine as the air you breathe in a mountaintop meadow, but it's also not the germ-infested nightmare you might imagine. Here's the deal. Modern airplanes use sophisticated air filtration systems that constantly circulate and clean the air in the cabin. These systems, known as HEPA filters, are the same kind used in hospitals and are incredibly effective at removing dust, pollen, and even tiny particles like viruses and bacteria. That being said, airplane air can still be dry, which can irritate your sinuses and make you more susceptible to getting sick. So, it's always a good idea to stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water, and maybe using a saline nasal spray to keep your nasal passages moisturized. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating insights. Safe travels! But before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What are some other aviation myths or facts you've always wondered about? Let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll debunk them in a future video. Remember, the more you know about flying, the less you have to fear. So stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the amazing world of aviation.